What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Resurrection of Magneto, issue number 2. In the last issue, what we had seen is Magneto finding himself in a hell of his own making, moving on past the mutant heaven, finding himself in a place of judgment. But there is a call that goes out. Magneto signals to Storm, and so now she is out to investigate, to figure out what's going on and why he sent out this signal. And while he goes through all these trials and tribulations, what awaits for them at the end was something that nobody expected. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we pick up in a memory of Magneto, after he had gone on a mission with Namor. This was kind of payment for a small plot of land, and in this mission, Magneto is given a key. He won the game, and she lets Magneto know that this key, it remains with you. Once you have it, you can never lose it, even in death, until the day it is turned. It is a key to the door of judgment and purification. And so Magneto put this key in his pocket, never to touch it again, and he can still feel it now. He can feel the weight of it, even in this place of judgment. But he has not turned the key. No matter the punishment, he refuses to do so. As he climbs through the lava, the names on the wall, the names of every life that he has ever taken, directly or indirectly. Magneto is living in his failures, forcing himself to suffer, to remember every single one of these names. And he can only help but think to himself that Krakoa was supposed to be the hope. After everything that he has done, all the mistakes that he has ever made, he believed that Krakoa could come true, that this would be all of his redemption, a return from death itself. Would this lessen his guilt that he holds on his shoulders? This is where we have the arrival of Storm, and immediately Magneto tells her to leave. And of course, Storm's not gonna do this. He called out to her. She felt his pain. She has come to save him, if she can. Trying to figure out what he's doing, this is when Magneto lets her know that he is remembering every single name that has died at his hand, that has died in his name, by action or inaction, by intent or accident. The ones he regrets and the ones that he doesn't. He sits in this city of judgment, and he must count every last one of them. If he's being honest with himself, he doesn't believe that he should return to the world, that he has done enough to hurt so many people. As Magneto becomes increasingly more angry, this is where he attacks Storm, telling her to leave, that he is done with this place, he is done with this world, and he will remain here until the work is done. But Storm throwing down a lightning bolt, letting him know that the world is not done with us. One of the things that truly broke Magneto was Toad. Toad had been thrown into the pit, the scapegoat who took the blame for her murder. Wanda would have never agreed ahead of time, but Toad did. Deep down, he still loved her. He still followed Magneto, and so now he must judge himself. And as the conversation continues on, Storm says that maybe I should have a talk with Wanda. This causing Magneto to even become more enraged, saying that her work, it led to Thunderbird and thousands like him to come back to life from her work, from Toad's sacrifice. With Storm mentioning Charles's name, mentioning just a fraction of what happened. This puts Magneto at pause, asking if something happened to him. This is where Storm dumps all the information, letting him know everything that has transpired since his death. The anger boiling up inside of Magneto. He told Storm to watch him. The rage consumes him as we see the nameplates begin to fly. The name of every life Magneto has ever taken. He refuses any kind of forgiveness. He cannot be forgiven. He cannot forgive himself, but he will still count. He will continue to count. Dropping to his knees, Magneto begins to feel the weight of it all, thinking that he could have stayed. He could have been resurrected. He could have been there to help Krakoa, to make it better, to make sure Charles was put into check, but he had endured too much loss. His failures too great. This is when Storm walks up to him and tells him that there is something he needs to see, blindfolding him and truly opening his eyes, letting him see as all of these names, they change. The light shines in, and what we see are the names of every single person that he has saved. Every person that is alive because of him. And so now he knows what he must do. Charles knows that he has to pull that key out. Wherever it may lead, it is time to finally turn it. As Magneto turns that key underneath their feet, the ground disappears. And what they are confronted by is the Shadow King. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Definitely a fun issue. We are seeing that Magneto is struggling, trying to deal with all of the things that he has ever done. Magneto has always been a man that doesn't look at the good things and the good deeds he has done. He has been a man that looks at all of his problems, one that looks at all of his bad deeds. He burdens himself with the guilt of every bad decision, and he wears this weight around him, continuously weighing him down. This is one reason he was so okay with just not being resurrected, of if he dies, let it be his final death. He didn't want to come back. He didn't want to keep living this life over and over again because death was his sweet release. Or so he thought. But being cast into a hell of his own making, it didn't change anything. Death didn't change the burden that he bared. In death, he spent his entire time remembering the names of every life that was taken, but being shown all of the lives that he had saved. In his mind, it is too few. The dead outnumber the living 1,000 to 1. This is what truly made him decide to turn around. This is what made him decide that he's gonna go back. He is going to use this key hoping that it leads to resurrection, and he is going to make up for the lives that he had taken. He is going to make the lives that he had saved much bigger, because his work is not done yet, no matter how much he wanted it to be done. But before resurrection can come to us, Storm and Magneto must face against the Shadow King. Storm having a long history with him, and one of the most powerful individuals in Marvel Comics, and introducing a multiversal entity such as the Shadow King. This could be very interesting. This could turn the tide of the battle in an instant. You know, we've seen the real heavy hitters kept off the board for most of the fall of the House of X. But with the introduction of the Shadow King, we could see this turn into a whole other game. Needless to say, they are preparing for something big. We already know about the Dominions, the AI taking over. There is going to be a battle for all of survival. Now we must wonder, what side did the Shadow King fall on? So let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get caught up on everything going on with this series, go ahead, check out the link in my description, as well as the top of this video. It'll get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. If you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.